Hello, I am Luis Rivera and I'm a physical therapist and athletic trainer. And I'm also the founder and CEO of Tactical Athlete Health and Performance Institute. We would like to welcome you into the TAHPI family. We are experts at getting tactical athletes like yourself back to work faster after an injury. You are a tactical athlete because of the extreme physical demands you face on the job every day. We're bringing a sports medicine approach to the workers' compensation world, which means you'll have the best and most expedited care possible if you choose to use our services. Our job is to manage time and eliminate any wasted days in the recovery process. The faster you receive diagnosis, treatment, and therapy, the faster your injury will heal. And that means you can get back to the job you love and back to enjoying life again. First, let me share some of the history of TAHPI because it will help explain why this program works and how it will benefit you. I spent most of my career in sports medicine. I did my undergraduate and graduate work at Marquette University in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I've worked at a clinic that specialized in Major League Baseball rehab and was the rehab director at Arizona State University until opening my own clinic back in Milwaukee. About 8 years ago, the Milwaukee Fire Department asked us to help its 7 peer fitness trainers understand the specialized movements, fitness, training, and rehabilitation of firefighters. I immediately saw how a sports medicine approach could benefit workers that I consider on par with professional athletes. I also noticed a glaring problem. Firefighters were suffering with lingering injuries, which delayed them from getting back to work and enjoying life. This wasn't good for the members, and it wasn't good for the department or the city either. In my world of college and professional sports, delays like that just didn't happen. For instance, if an athlete tore a rotator cuff on January 1st, we would have them back to work by June or July of the same year. In the firefighting world, we saw that same tear would not return until October, November, or December. We also saw that not only were the firefighters suffering for far too long, but the department was challenged with staffing shortages and skyrocketing workers' compensation costs. It just didn't make sense, especially when nearly every firefighter we talked with wanted to be well again and ready for work. So we started looking at the charts. We found that firefighters were seeing the same highly trained, qualified doctors that we would have sent our athletes to. And they were seeing the same physical therapists in town that I myself would see if I were injured. So that didn't add up. That's when we discovered that the front end of the equation was off. Let me illustrate. A firefighter would injure his shoulder, he would go to the ER urgent care where they suspected he had torn a rotator cuff. The firefighter would then be sent home and told to follow up with their primary care doc. They would inevitably sit on the couch for a couple of weeks, having to wait to get to see their primary doc, and when they finally did get in, they would be referred to a physical therapy rather than getting an MRI to truly assess damage. So they would try physical therapy for 4 weeks, and yet the injury still nagged them. Only then would they be cleared for an MRI, which as suspected showed the tear. Then, when they would have to find their own orthopedic surgeon, which we all know isn't easy because good orthopedic surgeons are busy for a reason. The orthopedic surgeon would then have to confirm that the rotator cuff was torn, more time on the injury clock, and then schedule surgery. Often there wouldn't be an opening for 6 weeks or longer. So the injury that occurred on January 1st would not even be scheduled for surgery until March or April. After surgery, the member rehabs with a physical therapist who likely doesn't have experience with tactical athletes and the kind of physical demands that they face. Or they have a conservative approach that leads to delays in the member's return to work. Finally, 9 months after the injury, the firefighter is back to work. In sports medicine, and now with TAHPI, these long delays simply do not occur. Let me show you the difference. We'll use the example of the same firefighter who was injured on January 1st. After getting treatment at an ER or urgent care, the member calls TAHPI, which will match the member and his or her injury with the best available health professional within 24 hours. If warranted, the member will meet with an orthopedic surgeon or other appropriate medical professional. If an MRI is needed, it's done. If surgery is needed, it's scheduled, usually within days of the injury. Next, the member rehabs with a TAHPI certified physical therapist that understands the unique physical demands of tactical athletes. And amazingly, the member returns to work within 6 months a full 3 months before a traditional medicine approach. Let's compare the patient flows to understand why TAHPI can get you healthier faster. That same firefighter is injured, but as you can see, by focusing on the front end of the care equation, the member gets the appropriate treatment more quickly, which speeds his or her time through the healing process. When comparing the two flows, the member in the TAHPI program is back to work often before a member in the traditional treatment flow has even seen an orthopedic surgeon. When a member is healed and back to work 3 months faster, the benefits are easy to see. Number 1, first and foremost, the member is healthy and can live his or her life again, including getting back to the job they want to do with full confidence they can meet its tough physical challenges. This first benefit is the primary reason we launched TAHPI. As healers, we simply couldn't understand why tactical athletes like yourself didn't get the same kind of expedited treatment and recovery as a professional athlete. Number 2, the member's department has less stress on schedules, backfill, and overtime, which means the member's colleagues will feel relief too. Number 3, reducing workers' comp claims are a boost to department budgets, and savings can be funneled into training, support, and other things necessary to keep the department running smoothly. If a quarterback at Arizona State got hurt on Saturday afternoon, we would know by Saturday night how to treat that injury and when he would be back on the field. Not only did the system help the player recover faster, his team and coach could make necessary adjustments for his absence too. This sports medicine approach is exactly the strategy we developed for the Milwaukee Fire Department and now are taking nationwide. Our very first firefighter in the program called us because his surgeon couldn't get him in for 6 weeks. He didn't want to wait that long. We sent him to a sports medicine fellowship-trained doctor on a Monday. He got an MRI on Tuesday, had surgery on Thursday, and was in the clinic rehabbing with me that Friday. We got him back to work 3 days before his other surgery was scheduled. The system worked, and it worked perfectly. Now let me talk about the medical professionals you'll be working with. When we enter a market, we hand select the providers that are board certified and fellowship trained. They agree to see an injured firefighter in our program within 24 hours and give a diagnosis within 72. So if a physician thinks that an MRI is needed, instead of waiting 10 days to 20 days, an MRI will be scheduled right away. Providers also must earn a certification in our TAHPI program. It's a full day of exposure and hands-on training with gear, techniques, police officers, firefighters, and EMS workers encounter. It gives them an appreciation for the tools, gear, work, and skills you need to do your jobs.
I'm Katie Dias, Vice President of Integration, so here is how the system works for you. If you are injured, first, you follow your organization's normal reporting process. Then, if you have opted into the TAHPI program, you call us. Your injury will be triaged by a group of athletic trainers and physical therapists. They will pair you with the best physician based on factors such as where you are, who can respond, and what specialty is needed. Then, you hang up the phone, and we'll take care of the rest. We will contact providers and get back to you with appointments and specific details to get to the offices. The physician's office will contact you later to gather any HIPAA and other registration information. Once you've completed that first appointment, our member advocacy team will reach out to you. They will find out if you need additional help or if the physician needs assistance navigating the insurance process. Member advocates also will reach out to you every week to make sure that you're doing okay or if you need further assistance. If for some reason your recovery isn't progressing like it should, the orthopedic patient navigator will work with you and your healthcare team to get you back on track. In the 8 years that TAHPI has been operating, our rate of recurring injuries is almost 0. We're so proud of that statistic because it means that people are getting well the first time and staying that way. And that is our goal.
My name is Tim Sharpie. I am the Director of Provider Training and Client Relations. Even though TAHPI is now part of your department, you are under no obligation to use it. The program is completely voluntary, and we specifically designed it that way. We don't want anyone to feel like they are being forced into our network. In fact, we insist that the program be a choice, because we want to work with employees who truly want to get better and who want our help. For instance, Some members want to work with a trusted family physician who isn't in the TAHPI network. And that's a choice everyone should have. Our mission is to get you healthier, faster, and we will assist you no matter where you are in the injury or recovery process. This program is also available for off-duty injuries and for immediate family members. Right now, we actually see 4 times as many off-duty injuries than we do on duty. The program applies the same, but we must follow your major medical insurance rules. For instance, if your insurance dictates that you need to wait 2 weeks before getting an MRI, then we have to wait 2 weeks. Same thing is true of immediate family members. You have a son or daughter that injures their ankle and they want expedited care, we will get them into the system, following your medical insurance rules, of course. What does it cost to cover family members? 0. It's all part of the program. To us, it just feels like the right thing to do.
I think it's important that members know how we get paid because we always want to be transparent in what can be often a confusing shuffle of insurance and bills. We want to maintain the highest standards of integrity in our program, which means we do not take funds from the physicians, the therapists, the MRI, or DME companies. That allows us to easily move any provider out of the system if they aren't meeting our standards. I've always cared about helping people get better. It's why I got into the profession I did. After seeing the problem of lingering injuries in Milwaukee firefighters, I spent nearly a year flying around the country looking at departments in 53 different cities. I met with fire chiefs, police chiefs, HR people, risk managers, city attorneys, firefighters, police officers, and EMTs. I found that the problem that existed in Wisconsin was national. We are committed to changing that one department at a time. You'll find that we will weave ourselves into the fabric and culture of your world because every department is different and everyone's approach to injuries and rehabilitation can be complex. We appreciate the opportunity to work with the city, the administration, and especially the membership. Thank you for allowing Tactical Athlete to be part of your department.